Morning, Troy.
Hey, good morning, George.
Okay, so with all those credentials that you have, you tell us how tough it is for a team not to start pointing fingers when they have a squad that's really good on one side of the ball and the other is almost dead last in every category, like the Cowboys are right now defensively.
Well, I've seen some of Dak's comments this week in regards to that. I don't. It obviously could be a problem with some teams. I don't anticipate that it would be here, and a big part of that, of course, is Dak's leadership and the way he's handled things, and I think that's probably pretty consistent with the organization and with the team in general. So I think everyone understands kind of what some of the problems have been, what they've got to correct. But as far as there being any dissension within the locker room, I don't see that, and I don't anticipate that. And I think I think maybe things have changed a little bit around the league in that regard, just because of with the salary cap and how much money gets spent, particularly at the quarterback position, and in Dallas, of course, at wide receiver as well. But when you look around the league, oftentimes, a lot of the money is spent on offense, so it becomes a lot more challenging for some of these defenses as well from a payroll perspective. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But with that said, I mean, everybody feels like they've got a job to do, and everybody wants to do it the best they can.
How surprised were you that Rico Dowdle called his shot against the Cowboys? Not Derrick Henry, but Rico Dowdle. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, what a day he had. And I thought he did some good things last year for Dallas, and how that ended or what his feelings were when he left. I didn't think much of his comments the week before, and maybe he didn't either, for that matter. I'm not real sure, but for him to then go out against a team that he once played for and have the type of day that he had, I never went to another team, but it had to be extremely gratifying for him, and that was a big win. I still think Dallas is capable of being a good football team, and they've had some tough losses and where they're at right now in the season. But I think around the league, especially for a team like Carolina that has struggled themselves and trying to find their footing to be able to beat a flagship franchise like the Cowboys, I would think that that's something that can help them gain more and more confidence and help propel them, into this week's game and down the road. From what I gather, a few people had mentioned, I didn't get to watch a big part of that game, but not surprising, the Cowboys fans travel really well, but it sounded like it was predominantly Cowboys fans at the stadium. And if that was the case, then probably even felt that much better for Carolina to be able to win at home.
It's our weekly visit with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman here on The Ticket.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Washington has had some problems on defense. They've had some injuries on offense. You got to see them get beat in the final minutes by the Bears. Another close game on Monday night. Yeah. Incredible. You guys get nail biters every week. What kind of Washington team comes in here this week?
I think a team that's probably upset about the loss on Monday night. Certainly they're going to have more of a sense of urgency in this game after that loss. They're on a short week, as you mentioned, haven't played on Monday night, but yeah, I do like Washington a lot. I don't know what you mentioned the injuries that they've had on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if they get Terry McLaurin back this week and Noah Brown, but they've been really banged up. They lost Austin Eckler for the season. They were without their blocking tight end, John Bates, for a couple of games, and so it's been pretty tough sledding for them. And yet I do think they're a really good team, and we all know when Dallas and Washington play each other what that means, but I would expect them to come in regardless of who's on the field and play really well, knowing that they want to get the loss out of their mouth from last week. I like them. I like what Dan's done. The culture there is really good. You can. What Josh Harris has done as the owner and Dan Quinn as well, and then of course the play by Jaden Daniels and what they were able to accomplish last year. It's a pretty good scene when you go to Washington now. There was a time, a long time when the fan base was so good years ago, and then the fans kind of stopped coming to the games, and they've gotten it back now. It's an organization that feels like they're on their way, and then they got the new stadium that I guess has been approved. It's going to go back to D.C. and the old RFK Stadium site. So there's a lot of things looking up for Washington, but coming off a tough loss, and I expect that they'll come in and be ready to play. All of them.
Speaking of the 90s Cowboys, we always say, well, it's been 28 years since 29. It's 30 years since the last Super Bowl, Super Bowl 30. It was the 95-96 season. Are you guys doing any sort of reunion about that team?
Yeah, not that I've heard. It's interesting that you asked because, last weekend they actually had the 40-year anniversary of the 1985 National Championship team for the University of Oklahoma, and Tony Casillas went. He reached out. I had a number of people reach out and invite me to go. I started the first 4 games of that season before Jamel Holloway came in, and so they had a big gathering in Norman, and Coach Switzer and all of them were there. Some other coaches that were a part of that team that are still with us, and the Cowboys they've never really done anything like that. We had the one that I hosted back in 2017. George, you were a part of that one. Had a big night. We wound up inviting. That was the 25-year reunion of the '92 team. But I ended up, if you were on any of those 3 Super Bowl teams, then you were invited and had a lot of fun. But yeah, the Cowboys have never done anything like that. I'm not sure exactly why. They have had a suite for a game, and players can come and watch the game, and then I guess come out at halftime. But over the years, I've been working, of course, and was working on Sundays when I was with Fox, and Michael and Jimmy and Daryl Johnston. None of us could have attended any of that. But yeah, the Cowboys they've never done anything quite like that.
Well, that would make some sense for Jerry. He likes to talk about the 90s and even a documentary, and it makes some sense for him to put together some sort of reunion for you guys.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. 30 years from the last one, but maybe they will do something. I'm not exactly sure, but it would be a lot of fun to see everyone.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Yeah,
and I've told you this before. My thought of Super Bowl 30 is us going on the air as you and Dale Hansen were going up an elevator at 5:30 in the morning in Arizona. That was a fun night.
Dale likes telling that story too.
Yeah, me and Aikman, we hang out all the time. Yeah,
we were just waking up. You guys were just getting in.
That's right.
Oh man, awesome stuff! And have a great game on Monday. That should be really entertaining.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Really a great game between 2 really good teams. So, all right, y'all have a good week.
Okay, you too.